What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about VeChain today, VET. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. I'd like to apologize. I meant to make this video a couple days ago, and I genuinely just spaced it, man. I'm like looking at my list of things to do, and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about VeChain. But I'm glad we're talking about it now because it's at a very ample moment to buy, right? We haven't really moved too much probably since the last time that I talked about it. You've been moving sideways here, accumulating. I very much think that you are clearly accumulating, right? We can tell that you're accumulating because overall you've been kind of range bound. You've been held down by this area here, and more or less. Let's move that up, right? Probably like this area here, held down by this area here for most of this year, 2025 now. And here was your low back on April 7th, right? And you've had a higher low since then, and you've had a higher low since then and a higher low. You're slowly accumulating here, moving sideways, but getting those higher lows coming in. I very much do believe that you are getting ready for another move up, like a very large move up, something bigger than we've seen really in probably a year, almost a year, since this rally back in November. And I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a move of a similar magnitude or even of a larger degree, magnitude, whatever it would be. I suppose both words work, but it's going to be a fantastic move coming our way. I want to look at the short-term stuff before we get into the long-term stuff, and then we'll just zoom back out to the daily. Okay, looking at the 1 hour time frame here, talking about short-term stuff. I don't know if I said this too. It's the 26th of August right now. Here we are at about 2.5 cents. Okay, 1 hour, and I need to bring up the other indicators. I don't need to. I like the RSI. I think that it's fine by itself. I would rather have the RSI by itself than the stochastics or the MACD, but they all kind of help each other out, right? MACD is about to cross above the zero. That's nice, but kind of like most cryptos right now, you're at this point where it's a make it or break it. Either you will or you'll reject one of the others, or one of the two. You either will or you won't, right? If we're looking at this from a high to a low, that's not the high. We were super close, high to low. You're right in between your 0.5 and your 382 area. You know, sometimes you do get above your 382 and then you come right back down. If you were to come back down and go to your 236, that's fine. That puts you at about 2.5 cents. And I think that's okay. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you went down to like 2.45 cents, 2.5 cents, that's fine. It's actually very typical behavior to find resistance in this area and then come down and find support in this area while moving up. But you have had a rather robust piercing through the 382 area. Perhaps all you do instead is you just find support in this area and then you consolidate, continue to rally up there. I do think that once you break above about, let's say 2.68 cents, when you get above this line here, 2.68, that's when you should be rallying, whenever you should be breaking out and seeing higher prices than this. You know, based on a 1 hour time frame, it probably won't be too much, but looking at this MACD again, you're at a very critical moment here. Either you're going to reject or you're going to break through, and hopefully you break through, right? You don't want to reject, right? You broke through here. I mean, you broke through and still you went lower, to be completely fair, and then you went higher. But overall, it was a good thing. If you reject, it would be worse than this. Stochastics are very bullish. I have to admit, they look very, very bullish. And the RSI also is bullishly postured, kind of volatile, but your price action's been volatile too. Let's look at the 4 hour time frame. The 4 hour here, I like the RSI. The RSI is super bullish. Overall, let's get this low to high here. That was not the low. Low to high. Finding support in the golden ratio zone. Nice to see. Man, it looks just like Ethereum. It's like tracking Ethereum to a certain degree. Beautiful. Yeah, nice move. I'd like it if you got above 2.54 cents. If you can get above 2.54 cents on a daily closing basis or 2 4 hour candles closing in a row above that area, I'd be pretty convinced that this was your low. If you can't get above here, if you find resistance here and instead return back to 2.44 cents, if you return down there, I would think you continue and you go even below that low, where you'll probably find support at about 2.33 cents. Yeah. So 2.54, 2.44, those are the gatekeepers to higher and lower prices, yeah? Wicking below and wicking above don't count. You need to close. But if I'm being honest, I suppose with the downside, even moving down here in itself would make me think that you are going to go lower. So just stay away from that 2.44 area if you're looking to move up right now. But even if you move lower, it'll be just a little bit lower and then recover and then rally. Okay, it's not a big deal. 4 hour MACD actually looks a lot better than the 1 hour MACD does because you are at this point where you look like you're about to bounce. You can see that there on the blue oscillator, bouncing off the zero line here, and then you probably turn that orange oscillator around a couple iterations after this, if not maybe even just one after this. That's a good area to bounce from on the 4 hour. You've bounced here before like this, and that promoted some serious growth in a very short amount of time, right? This is like 2 days worth of price action. You went from 2.4 cents all the way up to 2.7 cents. That has to be like a 10% move, maybe just under a 10% move. 12%, just over 10% move. So 12% move in what was like 2 days time. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a bigger move here. You've got bigger candles that you're dealing with. Stochastics look like they're geared up to continue growing, right? I would think that you do get into that overbought zone, and the RSI overall is bullish. So we're going to stick with that kind of idea there. Yeah. Good. Let's look at the daily time frame, okay? Now we're getting to some exciting stuff. Again, if you go lower, it's not going to be by much. Nothing to really be too worried about. I highly doubt that we get below this low here. You never know. If we do, if crypto as a whole experiences, if we experience some kind of flash crash, maybe we get below that low, but as soon as we do, we'd come back up, right? It'd be like a moment like this or a moment like this, and then we rally, right? It wouldn't be anything to be too worried about. Looking at this on a daily time frame, the RSI is bullish. The stochastics are bullish as well, and the MACD, neutral but bullish. But you're at the part where you might start to really see this thing come alive. And over the coming days, over the coming weeks especially, I think it's going to be very exciting. I like this W shape that you have. It's kind of weak, a weak response that you have here. Typically with, if it would let me. Come on now. With this kind of look, it's like an Adam and Eve. You would expect to just continue to grow, and I thought that's what we were having here, right? It kind of looks like a Wu-Tang sign, but we didn't. We kind of fumbled the bag a little bit here, but we still have these higher lows, which is nice. As long as we get above this nipple here, this like center point right there at about 3.4 cents, then I think we're home free. You get above 3.4 cents, you're at 2.5 cents now. You get above 3.4 cents, and your next target area would be, let's see, from a high to a low. The expectation would be that you see a very immediate increase to about 4.5 cents to 5 cents itself, somewhere in that area. Okay. If you don't stop there, it's because you stop at a higher price at 5.8 cents to 6.7 cents. And if you don't stop at 6.7 cents, you're going to even higher than that. I would think that by the end of October, if not maybe by the end of September, you should be at higher highs. I doubt, and let me just reframe what I was saying here, okay? Your next target area is the golden ratio. If you don't stop here, you are going to stop at the 786, 886. But the way that I have it drawn, you get there probably by the end of, or the middle of September. Maybe you consolidate, do your thing, and then continue to rally, perhaps going into October, right? When I say you stop here, I just mean it's a stop, right? It's like here, you stopped here, but you kept growing. Here, you stopped here, but you kept growing, right? On your way down, you stopped here, but you kept decaying. You stopped there, but you kept decaying. Your next stopping point along your path higher is all the way up here. But ultimately, I think this next move, just like this move here from a low to a high, you had stopping points along the way, very brief stopping points I'll add. But I would think that you do see this move take you all the way up to 12 cents, if not 20 cents. That sounds appropriate. 12 cents would be a 4.7x. 20 cents is an 8x move. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if anything, either of those outcomes or anything in between were to happen. So personally, I would look more for something that is maybe 15 cents or higher, but time will tell. We're at 2.5 cents now, so we got a little bit of time to accumulate before this rally starts to happen. If the price drops down, I promise you, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I do promise you, if the price drops down, it'll be insignificant compared to the amount of upside that's coming. So if the question arises, is it a good time to buy or not? Just look at this range. We're kind of right in the heart of it. It's not the most ideal time to buy, but it's a good time to buy. I think it's a good time to buy, especially from like if you're thinking about it in the context of last November. Imagine buying here at this rally. You didn't catch it here. It had that initial phase up, but you bought that low, that first low that came in perfectly if you bought right here. So I think it's a great time to buy, and we're only going to go higher, in my opinion, overall than we did that last rally. So I think it's a perfect time to buy. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you liked the video. Shout out to All American Crave for this bucket hat and some other really dope apparel. Guys, check out their products. I'm going to leave a link in a pinned comment below. They've got a fall lineup, some really cool stuff. I'm excited about their socks. I'm probably going to have to get a pair. They even got kids stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's sick. It's cool. Guys stuff, girl stuff, whatever. whatever stuff you need, all your needs, and it's an all-American made company, baby. Hit the like button, subscribe, check them out. I'll see you on the next one. And no, it's not a paid affiliate. I don't have any paid affiliates. I'm just giving them a shout out because they have, you know, me and one of the people affiliated with the company, Anthony. Shout out to Anthony and his lady. They're the ones that run the show, and they've just been very kind to me. So again, thank you guys. Thank you for the clothes. They're good people. They make good clothing, and I like supporting things like that. Okay, take care. Bye bye.